3, 2. What's good, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? JDaisy here with the JDaisy Gaming Channel. A few days ago, I received an email from a subscriber or fan, whatever we would like to call them, pointing out something very, very good that I did not really, it never came to my mind. So on this channel, the goal is for me to review a lot of games. I like video games. I find them amazing. Currently in my Steam library, I have something like 475 games, varying from all genres. And what this person pointed out is, hey, you say you want to review games, and you want to review all sorts of games. All you ever seem to review are like mainstream games, games that are brand new, and games that really aren't like indie productions. And that's a very good point. I've always wanted to get into indie games. I did dabble in a little bit when Steam Greenlight was a thing. I hit up a couple indie games. A couple games that I play very, very regularly now started off as that, like naval action, Space Engineers. I got in on both those when they were very early games. But they pointed out that's a very good point. I don't cover as many different games as I could. So in my library, I have this. This is Army Gals, which is a visual novel. I guess you could say kind of a foreign for me as an American. This is kind of a foreign video game. I don't know of a lot of people that play a lot of these visual novels. I know it's a very big thing in more of Asian cultures, Asian video games. I have several of these. I just acquire games like this either through Humble Bundles, or they catch my attention on Steam front page, or what have you. Pick them up cheap and I have them. So I figured, you know what? Let's be fair. I need to, at least get some different games reviewed. And now that we've kind of reached that lull point in the year, where not a lot of new games are coming out, I'm really hoping to dive into my library and get some kind of different, kind of unique games. But if you're an indie developer out there and you happen to see this, or you know of an indie developer out there, that feel free to send me a link to their game, or if you are the developer, I will never turn down a copy of a game. I will do my best to review it on my schedule. Of course, I'm going to say what I'm going to say about it, this video included. But I just want to put that out there, that I am not pigeonholing myself to new games or brand new games or big AAA games. Of course not. Of course not. I love video games, especially for the indie developers. I think that is an amazing thing if you can do that. If you can start a company making video games that I can't even comprehend how to begin. I think that is just amazing. And I really want to support that. I really, really, truly do. So that being said, this is Army Gals. Like I said, it's a graphic novel. I've played about 4 hours of it, and it's one of these. I haven't played a lot of graphic novels. This is probably about the second one I've played, maybe. They're just not my real cup of tea. For long exposure play, I will say that once you get, if it's written really well, you can get immersed in it pretty well. If it has a nice script and nice characters. And this one is really good. I really enjoyed this one. Not that I have a lot to compare off of. But this one, you are the beginning plot's a little shitty. We're just gonna let's get that out of the way. The opening plot is shit, and the plot is really good. Beginning plot is you are some teenager that is being brought to the middle of the woods for a reform program because supposedly you lit a fire that first forced girls out of the locker room, and you saw them. You wind up in this rehabilitation program, let's go use that word, in the middle of the woods with 3 other girls, and your camp counselors leave. You alone with these 3 girls have to find your way back out because after a few days nobody returns, so you have to figure your way out. So yeah, it's kind of shit that way. I'm not gonna lie, that part kind of got me. But the whole figuring out how to get out of the forest was really, really kind of immersive. I think I played, of those 4 hours, I think 2 of them was just me sitting down and playing through. I've gotten 2 or 3 endings. If you do get this game, it comes with a boatload of achievements that kind of showcase. I have 13%, so 4 out of 30, of just showing how many different endings there are, which is amazing to me because the game, it gives you choices. There are certain choices you run into that are few and far between, but you don't really think anything of it. Most of them are which girl you want to sleep with. But let's just moving on. Um, yeah, they don't seem like big choices that could affect the longevity of the game. I mean, my first death. How can I say this? Yeah, I don't think this will spoil anything. My first death, my first ending in the game was I died because we ran into the troop ran into a bunch of a field that said there was bear traps in it, and I took point and stepped on a bear trap and died. There was a little more to it than that, but that was my first ending. And then luckily this game has oodles and oodles of save spots for you. So I would save at every single one of those choice options, just so I could go back to that last choice and choose the other one to see what happens. I am thinking about going back and replaying this game though, because if you're, you know, uh, somebody that likes nudity, this game on the Steam version has a little tidbit here and there. God, I can't believe I'm saying this on my personal channel. But if you go to if you follow the directory on the patch notes, there is a uncensored version that you can get through the actual makers, and yeah, it's a little different than the Steam version. Back to the gameplay, and it's kind of weird to call it gameplay. Some people might say, if you've never played a graphic novel, this might just be a weird video for you. Watching the gameplay, this is literally just the opening gameplay. This is the camp counselor that comes and gets you. And it may not look like quote-unquote gameplay, but I'm not going to knock it. I'm sure, I know a lot of people really like these. There's a reason they sell thousands of copies. There's a reason I have like 20 of them that I've just picked up here and there by not even trying. They sell good. And I can't knock it. I read comic books all the time, and that's what this kind of was when I really got immersed in it towards the end game. That's what it felt like. It felt like kind of reading a comic, but that you're getting drawn in. And I think that's what this game does really well, is drawing you in and having there's a lot of random twists and turns that I did not see coming. It gets really dark at some points too, and I mean dark. So if you're wondering about the 3 girls I mentioned, that's where the game obviously gets its title, Army Gals. The program's supposed to be like a boot camp type thing. Other than that, I don't know why it's called Army. You could have just called Lost in the Woods with Girls for all I could care. Shit, can I remember all their names? Andrea, Diana, and yeah, I don't remember the other one. Victoria or something. There's 3 of them. There's the angry one, the shy one, and the horny one. That's as pretty much as deep as their characters kind of get. There must be ways to break them down. Not break them down sexually, break them down as far as like learning more about their characters. The bubbly one, the horny one, or whatever you want to call her, she's very outgoing, and you learn a lot about her very quickly, obviously. I was trying to get to talk to the shy one. That she was related to me very much. I found it very interesting. You know, she was very antisocial, and just a very interesting thing. And I was trying to learn more about her. But neither of my 3 endings, I could really get anymore. So there must have just been like some of those choices that I just kept several times. The most common choice, it'll ask you which direction to walk that day. And I just kept saying north, because in a survival situation, I would want to just keep heading the same direction, easiest to say. You know, I keep going north. But that must have been wrong, because there's like north, northeast, or northwest, because I didn't feel like I got all that depth to it. I feel this game has a lot more depth than I was getting. And I think that's the biggest thing for me to want to go back and replay is just to see all these different endings. You know, what little choices, or what these little choices that seem little actually affect. And if you've never played a graphic novel, give it a shot. I really do recommend that. Not necessarily this one. There's thousands of them on Steam. Thousands of them. You can either look up the tag graphic novel, or you can look up the tag nudity. Literally, if you look up either of those tags, you will find thousands of them. Thousands of them. And if that's not your thing, I don't. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe you only play first-person shooters. I don't care. But some people, this is their jam, and I'm not gonna knock anyone for this. I fucking have a shit ton of them. I'll review more of them if you want. Um, Absolutely, I'll review more of them. But yeah, so the point of this video with this game, really good graphic novel, I think personally. Very intriguing late story, not so good on the end story. Decently enough depth characters, a bunch of different endings that are really unique. Intriguing storyline draws you in. Some of the writing's kind of corny, not gonna lie. Some of the setups is kind of corny, but nothing you don't expect from kind of this. The setup they give you is nothing that you don't expect. Highly recommend if you're into graphic novels. I highly recommend it. You can get the uncensored version. Just saying, it's not that difficult. But as always, that's just my opinion. If you guys had any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box. If you have any games that you would like to suggest, please send them my way. If I don't have them, I will get them to review them. It literally is that easy. I have no qualms in supporting Steam and expanding my Steam library. Get a Humble Bundle every once in a while. Highly recommend those. Trying to become one of their partners. Not going to happen. But as always, we're all in this together. See you guys in the next one.